The scariest idea in Coherence is not the multiverse. It is the idea that realities can leak. In the film, people carry boxes, photographs, numbers, and notes across what look like branch boundaries. That one choice changes everything. These are not parallel worlds that politely ignore each other. They are worlds that can trade evidence, swap identity markers, and contaminate one another. Here is the real physics pressure point the movie is poking. Quantum mechanics allows superposition, meaning multiple alternatives can coexist in the math. But at human scale, those alternatives do not stay available. The reason is decoherence. Every big object is constantly interacting with its environment. Air molecules hit it, photons bounce off it, heat radiates from it, sound waves shake it, dust lands on it. All of that entangles the system with the outside world, and the clean quantum interference between alternatives becomes unobservable. Decoherence does not mean quantum mechanics stops working. It means quantum weirdness stops being accessible because the environment effectively forces a stable, classical-looking story. That is why you do not see chairs in superposition or dinner guests both sitting and standing. A human body is not a neat little quantum system. It is a thermally noisy, astronomically complicated collection of particles being measured by the world every fraction of a second. So when Coherence shows whole houses full of people behaving like a walkable superposition, it is dramatically brilliant and physically catastrophic. The film's central image is basically a failure of the boundary that normally keeps quantum alternatives from entering lived experience. As a metaphor, it lands. As literal decoherence physics, it does not. Then there is the comet. The movie uses a passing comet as the trigger for the breakdown. A comet can be a spectacular light in the sky. It can stir public anxiety. If you are generous, you can even imagine odd power glitches, rumors, or coincidence clusters. What it cannot do, by any known mechanism, is rewrite local quantum reality. It cannot suppress decoherence or open doors between many worlds' branches. Gravity is universal, yes, but the gravitational influence of a comet at astronomical distance is tiny. It is dwarfed by Earth, the Moon, the Sun, and even the nearby mass of buildings and people. Real debates about gravity and decoherence are subtle, and they do not lead to suburban houses becoming mutually accessible. In the story, the comet is a mythic switch. A bright object appears, and the ordinary order breaks. That is folklore logic, not astrophysics. The film's most unsettling detail is also one of its biggest scientific violations. Those boxes of photographs and numbered objects are proof that the characters are not just hallucinating. Different groups in different branches create different labeling systems, and the labels cross over. That implies the branches can exchange matter and information. But in the many worlds interpretation, branching is not like apartments in the same building. Branching means parts of the universal wave function no longer interfere in a way observers can access. Decoherence is exactly what makes branches effectively independent. If you can later pass a handwritten note from one branch to another, then in the usual sense, the worlds were not decohered. There is a useful comparison here. Modern quantum information science struggles to keep even a handful of engineered qubits coherent. The whole field fights environmental noise, vibration, heat, stray photons, and accidental measurement. Coherence imagines uncontrolled, human-scale branch communication as if it were easier than maintaining delicate coherence in a lab. If anything, it should be vastly harder. The movie also leans on Schrödinger's cat, and it is worth being precise about what that thought experiment was for. Schrodinger did not propose the cat to say, "Cats are literally alive and dead at the same time." He proposed it to show how strange it is to naively scale microscopic superposition up to everyday objects. The paradox is the point. Popular versions often say, if nobody looks, it stays multiple. If somebody looks, reality picks one. Decoherence shifts the emphasis. Human awareness is not the key practical ingredient. Environmental interaction is. A room with lamps, air currents, warm bodies, and thermal radiation is not unobserved. It is being monitored by the universe constantly, whether anyone is paying attention or not. That matters because the plot depends on a consciousness-centered simplification. Characters feel that observation, choice, and physical movement between houses can decide which reality becomes theirs. Psychologically, that is gripping. Scientifically, it smuggles in an idea modern decoherence theory largely avoids. Once the story gives you doubles, another problem quietly appears. Conservation and continuity become a mess.